evening. This is the 18 WJTS News. I'm Charlotte Olson. Last night, the Greater Jasper Consolidated School Board discussed at length their potential plans of building a new elementary school that combines both 5th Street Elementary schools with 10th Street Elementary, all into one full school, which would be built on the area that is in corporation already owned and located on the north side of Jasper by the middle school. It has been noted that 5th Street and 10th Street Elementary are extremely outdated and need constant repairs as their facilities, as well as the fact that both buildings that were originally built were built in the 1950s and 1960s respectively and are not, for the most part, up to compliance. The new school will be built in a 100 to 110,000 square foot area and would be built by Stefanagle Group and Gilbelator Design. The new structure would promote areas of group learning, which the old school supposedly lacks. This new school would have a price tag of approximately $29,785,000, and it would be noted that this would be efficient for taxpayers as there would be no debt tax increase. The new school proposal was met with very positive responses. Board members held a public hearing as part of their meeting that took place in the community room at the Jasper High School. And Greater Jasper Superintendent Dr. Tracy Lorite noted that a survey that was conducted earlier this year was met with an 80% positive response rate.
The feedback from the public tonight is as representative as the survey that we sent as a part of the feasibility study. The feasibility study, there were about 80% of the respondents who were in favor of us moving forward for a variety of reasons, and all of the reasons that our speakers shared with you tonight. And I think those speakers reiterate those same support for moving forward.
Many members of the public, which includes educators and PTO staff, made their voices heard in a positive manner. They praised the board for their plan to create a new school. Regional Opportunity Initiatives announces that 6 area school districts will comprise the inaugural cohort of the Ready Schools Initiative. The local school districts selected include Lagodi Community Schools and a collaboration of the 4 school districts in DuBois County, which include the Greater Jasper Consolidated Schools, Northeast DuBois, Southwest DuBois, and Southeast DuBois County School Corporations. The Ready School Initiative will provide up to $150,000 in funding to each grantee to support a year-long development process. Grantees will engage in district, community, and industry stakeholders to better align educational programming with the workforce opportunities across the Southwest Central Indiana regions. In April, ROI released its first occupational needs assessment to highlight the education and workforce needs of the advanced manufacturing, life sciences, and national security and defense sectors in the greater Southwest Central Indiana regions. The assessment emphasizes the employer's struggle to find talent for jobs in all levels, ranging from entry-level positions requiring only a high school diploma to highly technical jobs requiring advanced degrees. All of the employers interviewed noted that significant roles in the region's K-12 districts play in addressing these workforce challenges across the board. County-by-county unemployment numbers for the month of June have been released, and once again, DuBois County is in a 3-way tie, marking the 4th straight month that DuBois has shared the top spot with 2 other counties. Despite an increase of 0.3% from the month of May, figures released on Monday by the Indiana Department of Workforce Development say that DuBois, along with Elkhart and Adams counties, lead the state in June with an unemployment rate of 2.3%. Neighboring Daviess County and 2 other counties were right behind at 2.4%. Statewide, Indiana's unemployment rate declined to 3% in June and is below the national average of 4.4%. The state's June jobless rate compared with one of 3.2% in May, and Workforce Development Commissioner Steve Braun says that the unemployment rate remains at its lowest level since the mid-1990s. He says that officials believe that this is an indication of the state's ongoing strong economy. Now locally, as we mentioned, DuBois County is once again in a 3-way tie for the state's lowest unemployment. Daviess County is right behind at 2.4%, and Martin is behind them at 2.7%. Warwick and Spencer counties both came in at 2.9% and Pike County at 3.1%. Perry and Orange came in at 3.3%, and Crawford's June unemployment came in at 3.4%. Howard County, whose county seat is in Kokomo, had the state's highest unemployment rate in the month of June at 4.9%. A Gibson County deputy sheriff was arrested Monday on charges of child seduction and obstruction of justice. Indiana State Police say that 29-year-old Daniel Greer of Princeton is accused of sexual relations with 2 underage boys. State police began investigating in June at the request of the Gibson County Sheriff's Department, which received a complaint about Greer earlier in the year. Indiana State Police detectives believe that Greer had sexual contact with the two teenagers separately while off duty and sometime between January and March. The Sheriff's Department says that Greer was a school resource officer, and investigators say that the alleged incidents did not happen on school property. A probable cause affidavit indicates that the first victim met Greer through school activities, and the second victim was introduced by the first. Both teens told police Greer performed oral sex on them as well. No one said that he also performed oral sex on Greer. The affidavit shows Greer had known at least one victim since the boy was in the middle school and began keeping in touch with him through several different apps. In January or February of this year, the victim said that Greer started repeatedly asking if he wanted to have oral sex and eventually came to the boy's home. Under Indiana law, a child seduction charge indicates a suspect had undue influence under a victim who is 16 or older but younger than 18. One subsection of the law applies to a law enforcement officer who would have contact with a teenager during officers' official duties. Greer has been a Gibson County deputy sheriff for the past 4 years and was charged Monday with 2 level 5 felony counts of child seduction and 1 level 6 felony count of obstruction of justice. He was arrested around 1:30 Monday afternoon at the Gibson County Jail and is being held in the Knox County Jail. Volunteer fire departments from DuBois, Spencer, Pike, and Perry counties were among as many as 53 across the state that were given more than $13,000 in funding from the Indiana Department of Natural Resources through the Volunteer Fire Assistance Grant Program. The DuBois and Celestine fire departments each received just over $4,800, while the Ireland and Hayesville departments picked up just over $2,000 and $1,400 respectively. Perry County departments include the Cannleton Volunteer Fire Department, who received more than $4,900, and also the Rome Volunteer Fire Department, who got just over $2,000. In Pike County, the Jefferson Volunteer Fire Department received an even $5,000, with the Petersburg Department given more than $4,800. And finally, the Christine Volunteer Fire Department in Spencer County picked up an even $5,000 in funding, and rural and volunteer fire departments from 39 counties across Indiana have been awarded more than $250,000 in volunteer fire assistant grants. The grants are administered by the DNR Division of Forestry and made available through the U.S. Department of Agricultural Forest Service. Grants may be used for training, installation of dry hydrants, or to purchase necessary firefighting equipment and gear to help combat wildland fires. A Huntingburg woman was placed under arrest on various charges, including a felony OWI, after she was alleged to have left the scene of an accident on Huntingburg's north side late Monday afternoon. Around 6:15 p.m., officers with the Huntingburg Police Department were summoned to the intersection of US 231 and Phoenix Drive. While on their way, officers learned from dispatch that one of the vehicles involved in the crash had left the scene and someone was following it to provide dispatch information. The vehicle was located traveling southbound on County Road 400 from 12th Street with heavy damage to the driver's side. Police stopped the vehicle and determined that the driver, 33-year-old Sarah Nicholson of Huntingburg, was under the influence of alcohol. Field sobriety tests were conducted in which police say that she did fail. Police say that she was placed in the back of a patrol vehicle while officers were gathering documents from her car. It was at that time that police say that she was able to open a door and attempted to leave the area before she was detained once again. An investigation by police found that Nicholson crashed into 2 vehicles near Phoenix Drive before leaving the scene and was eventually pulled over. Nicholson was taken to Memorial Hospital in Jasper for medical clearance, and her blood alcohol level was measured at 0.30%. She was then taken to and booked into the DuBois County Security Center in Jasper on a level 5 felony count of escape, level 6 felony counts of operating while intoxicated with a prior incident the last 5 years, and obstruction of justice. She's also facing a misdemeanor count of leaving the scene of a crash with injury. Officials of the DuBois County Highway Department say that as of this morning, only one of the roadways that was closed Monday due to flooding from Sunday's morning heavy rains is Old Huntingburg Road between Jasper and Huntingburg. Once again, officials with the DuBois County Highway Department say that as of this morning, only one of the roadways that were closed Monday due to flooding from Sunday's morning heavy rains is Old Huntingburg Road between Jasper and Huntingburg. The road will remain closed until further notice, and all other roads have since been reopened. And make sure you keep it right here, because up next, we'll take a look at your weather summary.